All right. Looks like we're live on Facebook. So, guys, welcome to Next Level by Association Virtual. Welcome to Your Next Level Now. Um, Go ahead and tell me where you're coming in from, if you could, please. And also, what is what is your greatest expectation for 2023? What's your greatest expectation for 2023? It's been interesting when I ask people this in person, um, how the answers have varied. Um, so it'll be interesting to see what you guys post, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching a recording, replay. Answer the question. I'd love to hear what is your greatest expectation for 2023. So we're going to talk about something today that I think is going to be really appropriate for all of us, no matter who you are, where you are, what level you are financially, relationally, spiritually. It doesn't matter. I think it's appropriate for all of us, and so I'm excited to see how you guys feel about it, um, because I think a lot of times we think about 2023, we think about the new year coming. We're thinking about it in advance. We think about, when the new year comes, at the new year in January, I'm gonna blank. And you've heard me say this for probably 15 years. Those of you that have been around the channel or been around my programs, you've heard me say this: nothing changes at the stroke of midnight. Nothing's going to change. The same you, unless you change, the same habits, the same patterns, the same behaviors are going to be there at 12:01 on the new year. One of my friends, Sean Sorensen, who's been a member of my programs for a long, long time, she reminded me of that the other day. She says, I was quoting you because I remember you saying this to me so many years ago, and it impacted me. And so thanks for the reminder, Sean. Thanks for the shout out that you were utilizing that. Guys, the idea that that what we are looking for is somewhere in the future will not become until we realize that it's within us already. It's the idea that we need to become the change. We need to change those behaviors, those patterns. So I want to ask you this question, and I'd really just love to hear your guys' answer, besides the question I asked at the beginning. But here's the next question. What are you running towards, and what are you running away from? We're always running in one direction or another. We're either running towards something or we're running away from something. And what I find is when we look at our lives in the last year, right, in 2022, what were you running towards at the beginning of the year and what were you running away from? And if you look at that and we answer that question honestly, we're going to realize why we did reach that destination. And a lot of times it's a combination. We hear people talk about the pain versus pleasure. Tony Robbins is really big on that. The pain versus pleasure. But here's an idea. Here's a thought. Maybe we don't separate pain versus pleasure. We say and pain and pleasure. Because here's the thing. I think some people operate better under the duress of the avoidance of pain. Some people operate better in the pursuit of pleasure. But what if we combined those? What if we found a way to integrate both of those things, the avoidance of pain and the pursuit of pleasure? It's amazing what happens when we do that. I've worked with a lot of my one-on-one coaching clients, a lot of my group coaching, where we've talked about this idea of the avoidance of pain, the pursuit of pleasure. And while some people get better benefits from one or the other, what if we just simply did both? What if we found a way to do both pursuit of pain and the avoidance of pleasure? So again, let's go back to this question. What are you running away from? And what are you running towards? And I really appreciate you guys just sharing the comments. And I hope you guys are enabled in the chat. But what are you running away from? And what are you running towards? A lot of times people will be, I'm running from a bad relationship. I'm running from a bad business. I'm running from bad business partners. I'm running from poor health. I'm running from, and then, well, what are you running towards? And a lot of times people don't know what they're running towards. They just know they're running away from blank. But I really want to help you guys. And I really want to focus on, what are you running away from? Get really clear on those things that you're running away from. Maybe it's poor health. Maybe it's a bad relationship. Maybe it's finances, poor finances. Maybe it's whatever. What are you running away from? And then once you've listed all the things you're running away from, maybe look and say, what can I be running towards? And maybe it's not the opposite of. Maybe it's not a bad relationship to a great relationship. Maybe it's a bad relationship to solitude. Maybe it's bad relationship to just helping myself get better, focusing on me. Last week in our group coaching, we had some people talking about the idea that they need to learn how to take better care of themselves. How do they do self-care? How do they take care of themselves? Right? Maybe that's you today. Maybe you're just going, okay, look, I just need to figure out how to take better care of myself, how to position myself to be in the best state of mind, the best health, the best relationship, all of that. Maybe that's what I'm running towards. It's just taking better care of myself. Maybe you're sitting there going, I need to put a game plan in place. Look, I've been running away from this idea of I'm a fear of failure. But I don't have a plan in place. Guess what you're going to have? More failure. So how about if we put together this plan? How about if you just commit and say, I'm committed. The pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. I want to work on both of those this year. I want to be consistent and persistent in my pursuit and in my running away from, or getting away from a bad behavior, a bad outcome. Guys, you've heard me say the next level pillar, avoidance, is not the same thing as resolution. There are many things in my life that I've avoided. And when I face them, my outcome has always become better. But there's still things that we find it easier to avoid than to confront, to deal with. So maybe this year right now, today, would be a great day to say, I'm done. I'm done avoiding. And I know what I'm running away from. And when I'm talking about running away, I'm not talking about avoiding. I'm talking about running away from. What am I moving away from? And then what am I moving towards? And what I found is, when I've gotten clear about that, or when some of my coaching clients have gotten really clear, a lot of times they don't even recognize what they're running away from. And they don't know what they're running towards. They don't know what they're running away from. And or they don't know what they're running to. The issue with this is, when you harness both of those, they can become a greater level of fuel for us in each one of our areas of our lives. If we harness one and not the other, we get less effect. Bob, why do I need to have both? Why can't I just say I'm running, or I'm leaving this and going towards this? Because you're missing out on some of the component. You're missing out on a component that can take your pursuit to a greater level even faster. Having both, the leaving, the going away from, and the going towards, is going to be the thing that will catapult you even quicker to get that next level of your result. So, guys, when I think about this, there's been a lot of times when I've been running, towards something, but not necessarily understanding what I was trying to get away from. There's been a lot of things that I've known what I was trying to get away from, but I didn't know what I was running towards. It's only in the time when I finally found those things that I became even more powerful, empowered, but I also became more consistent and more persistent. Honestly, I'm running towards helping people on deeper levels. Mr. Swanson. Good. I mean, I think that's the thing, Eric. I love the fact that you shared that because, and thank you for putting your name there because, again, a lot of times it doesn't show up. But I tell you, one of the things I love about that is the idea that we all have a certain level that we're comfortable at. It's comfortable for most to say, "Hey, how you doing?" It's comfortable for most people at a networking event to say, "Hey, what do you do?" It's comfortable for most people to ask generic questions that lead to a certain type of outcome. Typically, that's very shallow, and typically those outcomes are not very strong. So I love the fact that Eric is saying this idea about uh, deeper levels. Whew, man, guys, the where are you at in your life right now where you could just use to be a little bit deeper? You're doing well. I was watching a show today with Kevin Hart, and he was talking about the monsters. If you have not seen Jay Shetty interview Kevin Hart on his show, it came out 4 hours ago today. Jay Shetty, somebody I really respect, really like. I really like Kevin Hart. Have a lot of respect for him, not only as a comedian, but as as his thought process. He's a lot deeper than most people give him credit for. I think because of his because of his comedy acts. But I mean, when you think about the idea of deeper, deeper relationship, deeper sound financial uh, well-being, deeper level of health, deeper level of conversation. You hear me talk about the conversation matters. The conversation matters. The program I put together, we brought in some different people to have different conversations. Maybe it's just the deeper conversation. I hear people talk to me all the time now and say, Bob, I'm all about deeper relationships. But then you watch, you listen, and it's the same old conversation. It's the same old relationship building tools that have been used. And so maybe it's that idea of really looking and saying, what does deeper mean? What does healthier mean? What does stronger financial mean? What does all these different things? And guys, I'm a big believer that you hear me say about the next level pillar all the time. Then every next level, health, relationship, finances, financial, spiritual, you name it, every next level will demand a different you. Every next level demands a different you, guys. And when I hear people say that I'm pursuing this, I want to have a deeper this. I just immediately say, ask yourself the question: how do I qualify for that? Am I becoming different? Am I pursuing? I know Eric's doing a lot of stuff that some of his conversations have changed over the last few years. I've seen a lot of things that people say that they want to do something but don't do anything different. So the idea that when I see Eric say something and then I see his conversation change and I see his relationships will change, I'm going to give a shout out to Eric right now because something was really cool the other night when I went on live. I didn't do this on a public thing because I don't want the expectation to be for him, but I do want to shout it out today. The other night I went on live. Did you guys see the football player that went down, number 3 for the Buffalo Bills? Amazing quick response from everyone to get him the help he needed. And it was impressive to watch on TV, watch how people responded, watch how the stadium responded. The silence, it was amazing. Well, I went live and we did about an hour live and talking about it. And we asked the question, what would you say if you could speak into his ear, the player that went down, if you could speak into his ear, speak into his life while he was in that coma, what would you say to him? And then the next question was, what would you say to his parents? What would you say to his teammates? And then the next piece of this was, what do you think he would say to you? What do you think he would say to his parents? What do you think he would say to his teammates? Guys, man, we had some amazing responses from people. Oh, it was so good. I am I'm so bowled over. Eric Swanson was on that. And I got emotional. I got choked up. As you guys know, I'm an emotional person. And I got choked up. And I was just blown away by the responses, by the people that were sharing. It was, even thinking about it now, it just gets me really choked up. Let me say this. Afterwards, Eric Swanson texted me and said, "Hey, you've poured into our lives." Basically, is what he said. I don't want to say word for word. And I want to do this. So DoorDash is 5 minutes out from your house for food delivery. So he had called Panda Express, or he'd used DoorDash to order food for both Flo and I at Panda Express and had it delivered. He didn't ask me, what do we want? He didn't ask me, hey, can I send you something? He didn't. He just did it. He just took action, did it. Very, very kind. Eric, and I know I already texted you this, but I just want to tell you thank you again. It means a lot when people do something like that on their own accord without being asked. And I'm grateful for that. I've seen Eric do that numerous times. I've seen him pick up meals for 5, 6 people numerous times. I've seen him do, amazing things. Call ahead coffee shops and tell people that, they're coming in to pay for their drinks or foods or refills or whatever. Guys, it's this idea that that who we want, the outcomes we want are going to demand us to be different than we were maybe yesterday, than we were at 12 o'clock a.m. on the 1st. At 12:01, maybe something needs to change. Guys, I think there's a lot more to this idea that who we are and what we do, they can be two different things. There's a lot of people that say who they are, but their demonstration of that is not the same. Maybe it's time that we just go, all stuff aside, I'm committed to knowing what I'm in the pursuit of and what I'm going to, the bad habits, the bad behaviors, the bad patterns that I'm going to drop. Maybe some of those things just might be as simple as that. Maybe it's just time that we go, hey, what is it that I'm really serious about? What am I serious about? What am I committed to? What am I looking for that I'm committed to? And maybe it's just as simple as that. How about if each of us, whether you're watching this live or recorded, how about each of us just go, today, this is what I'm committed to. This is what I'm committed to. And as we talk about this word commitment, you've heard me talk about commitment before in my Mastering Inner Game book or my one-day course or my groups where I talk about this idea of commitment. There's three things that stand out to me for commitment, and I'll share just one of them. The story of Rick and Dick Hoyt. Dick is the father, Rick is the son, and Rick wanted to run. He had cerebral palsy and he can't speak. he has to use eye. They've developed eye movement for him to be able to type. But he's had some major health issues in his life, and he can't walk. And he wanted to be able to run. I'm paraphrasing this, guys. Go look it up on YouTube. Um, look it up because it's a powerful thing. And the long and the short story is Rick wanted to run, and Dick, the dad, at a later age, it wasn't like he was in his 20s, said, I can help. And so he started running marathons. He started doing Ironmans. He started doing decathlon. I mean, he started doing all these different things and taking his son along for the ride. So he rode uh, the portion with his son, like in the front. He swam the portion of the Ironman where he swam towing his son in a raft. He ran pushing. I mean, guys, this dad, Rick and Dick Hoyt, man, I wish I had it queued up to play because I'd love for you guys to see it. But look up Rick and Dick Hoyt. I Can. That's probably the best one. Rick and Dick Hoyt. I Can. And it's powerful. It's a powerful illustration. And every time I see it, I go, that's committed. That's what commitment looks like. The dad's willingness to commit to something on behalf of his son that his son could not do without him. That's commitment. And I was blown away 15 years ago when I saw it, blown away to this day. I have a picture signed by them and that a good friend of mine got for me. Guys, what does commitment look like to you? Because that's what it looks like to me. That's one of the three things that I share. If you want the other three, I'll be more than happy to share with you. But one of the three things that's what commitment looks like. So when you say I'm committed to this in my life, I'm committed to getting more health. I'm committed to having that better relationship. I'm committed to getting my business up and off the ground. I'm committed to, fortifying my business and getting it stronger. I'm committed to scaling my business or making that relationship even stronger, having those deeper relationships like Eric's talking about. When you say these are the things I'm committed to, and then you hold up that image, like me, of Rick and Dick Hoyt, when I hold up that image of the son, I mean, the dad pushing the son, pulling the son, towing the son, whatever it is, and I go, I'm committed. And then that's the image of commitment. It's amazing how all of a sudden my commitment does not look the same as their commitment. So the question that I come out away from that is, if this is what I picture as commitment, and I'm not doing that or greater in my business, and I think that that's the image of commitment that I really want to demonstrate, want to exemplify, then it's just a matter of me saying, then I either need to use a different word for what I'm doing, or I need to step up my game, raise my standards and step up my game. Which one is it? And then do that. And then just simply do that. Okay, great. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Guys, it's just it's really disheartening for some when they get to the new year and nothing's really changed. It's even more disheartening when they get a quarter way into the new year and nothing's changed. And guys, some of you guys had some really bad year last year, or some really learning times, if you want to put it in a positive frame. You've had some things that you had to get out of your system to learn. Again, go back and see Kevin Hart's interview when he's being interviewed by Jay Shetty. It came out today, so look it up on YouTube. The more I listen to people like that, talk about their experiences and talk about the things that they went through. You and I have been through our own stuff. There's a great verse that says, The rain falls on the just and the unjust. Doesn't matter who you are, what kind of house you live in, car you drive, what kind of relationship, it doesn't matter. Things happen. And sometimes, if we haven't looked for how those things serve us, and they all serve us in one way or another, they can serve us beneficially, health, uh, uh, serve us positive or negative. How they serve us, if we're not clear about that, if we're not looking for that, we will probably not find it until maybe it's too late, or maybe it's later than it should have been. Maybe we could have learned it earlier on. Thank you, thanks for all. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Um, I am so appreciative of the people in the Next Level community. I have people in the Next Level community that have been in my life for many, many years. I've been blessed to share stages with many people in the Next Level um, community. Eric Swanson's one of them. He puts on events called Habitude Warriors. He's got some online programs right now, guys. I have been very, very blessed to speak on his stage many, many times, and have always walked away going, "That was a great experience, great opportunity." And if you've never seen Eric Swanson handle an event and handle all the things being thrown at him at one time, man, you gotta just see that. It's amazing what he does. He puts together great teams, and so definitely follow him. I can't see anybody else's names, so comments. I know if you're commenting, if you haven't mentioned your name, I can't see you. It's not showing up on my screen, so I would love to be able to do that. But if you want to mention your name there, I'll be more than happy to give a shout out. Guys, this idea of running away from, um, this pursuit of pleasure versus pursuit of the avoidance of pain. This idea that when we say we're committed to something, does it look like X or does it look less than? If it looks less than, then guys, there's no shame in acknowledging what it really is. Hey, I'm just not that committed. But so then maybe change the word from commitment to I'm mildly interested. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Or maybe you say, I need to step up my game. I need to step up in ways that my idea of commitment, again, my idea, Rick and Dick Hoyt, my idea of commitment looks like or is greater than Rick and Dick Hoyt. That my commitment in my business, my commitment in my health, my commitment in my relationship is that committed. That they look very similar. And if it's not, then we just need to say, I'm just not that committed, or I'm going to raise up my standards. I'm going to set new standards for myself in that area, in all those areas of my life. Eric and I are commenting, and they posted the lack. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so awesome. Thank you, you guys. What are your thoughts? What does commitment look like to you in mastering your inner game, the 1 day or the online version, the 7-part video series? Day one is commitment. And I ask people to go through the exercise to determine what is really commitment to them. What is commitment to them? Because see, my commitment may be completely different than yours, and that's perfectly fine. We don't have to have the same look of what commitment looks like. I ask people, type in the word commitment in Google, and one of the exercises, type in the word commitment in Google and then click on images and find an image to you that's commitment. That's it right there. Poof. It might be a weightlifter. It might be, an athlete. It might be a business leader. It might be a philanthropist. It might be Mother Teresa. It might be, whatever it is, but find that image that moves you emotionally to the point where you go, yeah, done. Got it. That's it. I know exactly what commitment looks like. We want to know what commitment looks like, feels like, sounds like, tastes like. Remember, in one of my coaching sessions, I had a client. They said, name a person. And he mentioned Tom Osborne, who was the coach of Nebraska. I said, so what does he sound like? What does he look like? How does he walk? How does he enter a room? How does he answer questions on an interview? And he goes, I don't know. Go back and watch those. He went back and watched those. And he picked up all these things, all these clues, all these cues that, man, he picked up so much. And I said, now, when you walk into the room next time, are you walking in like Tom Osborne? Or you're walking in like somebody who doesn't know what direction they're going, doesn't know what they're looking for, doesn't know what they really want? How's your voice? Does you have inflectuations and inflexes in areas of when you're speaking, your patterns? How do you dress? Do you look the part? No, I'm not saying you have to wear a Nebraska hat, but what if you wore it proudly? What if you wore whatever you're wearing proudly? You notice I'm wearing my Back to Blue hat today. Many of you guys know that I've put together an organization. I do Back the Blue. And people said, Bob, you put that on your car, you may have some problems. Bob, you might want to stay away from, I'm a big believer that no, I want to say it even louder when there's opposition, even louder. And so when I do Back to Blue, when I go to an event or when I'm sharing with people, or I want to always say I'm supporting the blue. I'm supporting Blue Line. I want to show support for them. So maybe it's the way you wear your hat. So I often wear my logo. Everything Next Level is everythingnextlevel.com. Is all the pillars go underneath Everything Next Level. So maybe it's just that you're wearing something a little bit differently than you wore it before. Maybe your speech, maybe your language, maybe your tonality can exemplify that person that you think is showing commitment. Hey, Lynn Serrano. Lynn is another great person that you guys, if you follow her, you're going to learn a lot about different things that she does. She has a Tuesday night gathering online that she does, and she's got a group of people, and which I've been blessed to be a part of many times. So check that out. But guys, think about this term commitment. I have so many people say, Bob, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then their follow through doesn't look like it, or they say, Bob, I want to really pick your brain. Well, if you're not willing to hop on a coaching call on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, which I do a free coaching call Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, for anyone can join one time as a guest. Hop on, ask anything you want, personal or professional. But here's the thing. It's funny because people say, Bob, can I pick your brain? Yeah, Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Well, why not right now? Because it's Wednesday at 10 o'clock. See, I don't want to have to answer the same question to 50 different people over 50 different times, right? So I want to make sure that I'm dealing with the right people. If they can make it a priority to be on the call at 1 o'clock, at 10 o'clock on Wednesdays, 10 o'clock on Wednesdays, guess what? Then it works. Group coaching is a great way for people to stay plugged in. They can ask a question. They can send in a question. They can text in a question. They can be on camera and ask the question. And they get the benefit of the question that they get to ask and the answer, but they also get the benefit of everyone else. Everyone else gets the benefit of that question as well. Sometimes people hop on the coaching and they'll say, Bob, I don't really have a coaching question. And then they'll listen to everyone else's question. And then they'll come back, oh man, I didn't think about that one, but that one really applied to me. It might be as simple as that. So commitment to me is maybe the idea of just somebody saying, hey, look, I'm going to be on the call every time, or I'm going to go back and listen to the replay. I have a lot of people that are a member of the coach. It's $50 a month right now. It's normally $100, $99. $50 a month. I have a lot of people that are not on the call. They simply text in a question. They go back and listen to the replay, which is posted in our Facebook group, private Facebook group. They ask the question, or they listen to everybody else's question. So maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe that's a level of commitment that you need to step up. Maybe you need to hire a coach. I've got coaching clients one-on-one, and I've got coaching clients group. Maybe you need to hire a coach, whether it's me or somebody else. You just need to hire a coach. Maybe you need to step up your game in the area of your physical fitness. Maybe you go, I need to join a gym, but you've been saying that for months. Or I need to do this, but you've been saying that for years. Guys, the opportunities. One of the things I took away from Kevin Hart's message today was, and I know we're hitting a lot of points today, but I think these are all valid and worthwhile points. Kevin Hart said, "There's nothing worse than having an opportunity present itself and you not being ready." He said, "So when I wasn't getting the shows that I wanted, when I wasn't getting, when I wasn't acting and I wanted to act, and I didn't feel like I was getting the opportunities." He goes, "I went and took an acting class. On the little money I had, I took an acting class, even though I was a comedian." He says, "I took an acting class. And then I studied that. And then I continued to work at that." And so in that process of preparation, when the opportunity presented itself, I was ready. And maybe you're in that season now where you're thinking, how do I become ready? I love people who say, "Bob, I'm doing great. I'm really doing good." Could you do better? Maybe you set your standards a little low. My friend Wesley Gu and we have a conversation about that all the time. Have we set our standards a little low? We have kind of a joking thing where we say, "I'm tired of hunting rabbits." Wesley said this many years ago. It's hilarious. "I'm tired of hunting rabbits. I want to hunt bear. I want to get bigger and better." And so, but maybe you've only equipped yourself with a gun that can shoot a rabbit, but it's not going to put down a bear. Maybe you're glad that you haven't just pissed off a bear with an antiquated weapon that's not going to, and he's going to devour you. So maybe it's that preparation. Do you have the right equipment? Do you have the right mindset? Do you have the right attitude? Do you have the right behaviors and patterns that will get you the result that you want? Guys, it might be something as simple as that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't know who that is. I think that's Lynn. Oh yeah, I see it. It's Lynn. Guys, I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and it was kind of a realization that life, the word life, is meant to be lived. Otherwise, it's called exist. Life, in its very nature of the word, is to be lived. And maybe today would be a great day to say, what am I running towards? The pursuit of pleasure. What's the pleasure that I'm looking for? What's the pain that I'm looking to avoid? And I'm a big believer that pain can serve you very well as in addition to. Pain can serve very well in helping you get to your next level personally and professionally. I've seen it many times over my life. The pain that I went through is what allowed me to become the man that I am. And look, guys, here's what I'll say. I am not the man I want to be right now, but I'm better than I was. I am not the man that I envisioned for myself a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, but I'm better than I was. And so if you say you knew me, you know me, and you only know the version of me that we went to high school together, we went to college together, we were in business together, and you only know that version, or you only know the version of me that was, 6 months ago, a year ago, even 3 months ago, you probably don't know me. You probably don't know me. Because I'm constantly in an evolution of becoming different than I was before. Becoming better than I was before. So guys, I know, maybe you're just needing a group coaching. Click that button that I think was up there a little bit ago. sign up. You can become a member for $50 a month right now. It's a 12-month commitment, guys. So we don't want people jumping in and out. We want consistency in the community. But maybe it's something like that. Maybe you want one-on-one. Shoot me a message. Be more than happy to talk to you about that. Or maybe you're just saying, look, Bob, I need to be plugged into something like this every week. This is called Your Next Level Now. Maybe you're just going, I just need something that every week I can be plugged into, get fed. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's as simple as that. Or maybe it's say, Bob, I just need that association with people. Next Level by Association is a monthly event that I host once a month for the last 12 years. If you're in the Orange County area, you can join us for dinner on the third Thursday of the month. The first time you come as a guest for $50, you pay for your food, or the $50 includes your food. And then maybe you're sitting there going, I love that, but I don't live in the area. Well, we've got a guest pass where you can attend the Next Level by Association the third Thursday of every month. You can attend for free virtually. Then if you want to continue virtually, it's $50 a month. And but the idea of having the association, Jim Rohn said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of your time with. I believe that. I ascribe to that. And I've seen that work in my life. Here's what we did about 12 years ago. We said, what if we just created an intentional peer group rather than just the people that we end up happening to be in the same team with or same group with or same room with? What if we said we want to create an intentional peer group, a group of people that meet a certain criteria, that meet a certain level of desire? Look, not everyone has to be the same level as you are. I can learn from people that haven't done as much as me, but I can also learn from people who've done even more than me. So maybe it's not the level, but maybe it's the idea that who I need to become is going to be different than who I am today. It might be something as simple as that. Next Level Association is a great group for that, virtually and online or in person. Third Thursday of the month. Sometimes we have a guest of honor. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's just a roundtable discussion or conversation. But it's always going to be a conversation that's going to elevate you. It's always going to be a conversation that's going to bring you to the next level. It's always going to be a conversation that challenges you to become the next best version of yourself personally and professionally. So, guys, we've had in Next Level Association, we've had people like Les Brown. We've had people like Gary Goldstein, who produced Pretty Woman and Mothman Prophecies and Under Siege and all these great shows. We've had people like Jarek Robbins. We've had people like Kasim Osgood, 3-time Pro Bowl player in the NFL. We've had people like Brian Smith, founder of UGG Boots. And guys, the list goes on. For 12 years, every month we've had somebody different. So imagine how many people that is that we've had come through there. It's an amazing group of people, both virtually and in person. Until COVID hit, we couldn't do it virtually. So it was just too tough. Well, we did it for about a year before that, but it was really tough to do it virtually with the technology and what we were trying to accomplish. So it's been really cool to see that happen as well. Any questions, any comments? Guys, thanks for putting up those buttons. Guys, you can click on the button and it'll take you right to where you need to sign up or fill in. Guys, I think whether you're watching this live or recorded, I think it'll be there. Guys, I just appreciate you. And, as this new year kicks off, I just really want to support you in ways that I know I've been supported in the past through people in my life, through membership programs that I've belonged to, through associations that I've had. And I know that, people like Dave Meltzer, who's amazing coach, amazing guy, sports agent. Amazing, just an individual, give back. He just does a lot of giving back. He's an amazing human being as well. So if it's not me, if you say, well, Bob, you're not my coach, I don't want to be your, okay, that's fine. There's going to be things that I do that you won't be able to be a part of, and that's okay. But maybe you look at somebody like Dave Meltzer, or maybe you look at somebody like Wesley Gu, or maybe you look at some of these other people that I know are going to deliver value. They're not going to just have standardized questions. They really seek to understand and to help. So if it's not me, at least pick somebody that can help you in that way, guys. I am hilarious. Tired of hunting rabbits. So true. Yeah, and to this day, he and I will say that: Are we running? Are we hunting rabbits, or are we looking for bear? Um, if you're not a hunter, I'm sorry that doesn't fit your paradigm, but it definitely is something to think about. Guys, I appreciate you. I'm grateful for who you are. I'm grateful for how you show up in this world, because I know that every time that you and I show up less than our absolute best, um, the world around us operates from a deficit. So thankful for you, and appreciate you guys. If you have any comments, if you're watching this recorded, let me know that you watched the recorded replay or whatever you want to put. But just let me know. If you're watching this live, great. Thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate however you're going to watch this, however you're going to take this information. But you know what I really appreciate most is when you watch the information, you listen to the information, you take the information, and you apply the information, because we're not lacking information. What we're lacking is the implementation of often the information that we already have. So thank you guys. Get out there, make it a great week, and enjoy your next level.